Good morning, beautiful family. So, this video is to share some bad news and also good news. So last night I was in a quite bad car accident, and I guess I could just tell you this story from the beginning. So last night, someone who works for us, she was at the hospital in town and she didn't have enough money with her, and she's pregnant. Now, where she was is actually, it's a clinic, and it's the same clinic Fritzi used when she was pregnant, and we recommended that she go there. We know the guy. So I said, let me drive into town and drop you the money. Unfortunately, I made a decision because she was pregnant that I would take her back home, which is in Uchira, and we were in Moshi, so that's 25 kilometers away. Uchira is where Featherstail is, Moshi is where I've been staying since I got sick. So thankfully I had dropped her off and she was not in the car, but on the way back there was a dog around about 10 minutes drive away from Featherstail. There was a dog on the road, and to try and help the dog, to try and save the dog, basically I wound up rolling the car into a ditch. And my passenger door was facing the grass, my driver's door was facing the stars. And my seat belt was stuck because all my weight was against the belt and I couldn't get it off. I was pushing the button and it wouldn't come off. My knife had fell from the driver's door to the passenger window, which is at the grass, so I couldn't cut my belt or anything either. People came to help me, but whilst I was there trying to get my belt undone, the car burst into flames and everybody ran, naturally, because nobody wants to go that way. So I was inside a car that was on fire and my belt was stuck and I was up. My driver's door was facing the stars, the car was on its side. So I wrestled with my belt quite a bit. It felt like an extremely long time. I'm sure it was probably only 10 or 15, 20 seconds even, I don't know. And I got it free, and then I was standing on the passenger window, which was flat to the ground, and I had to climb out through my driver's door window and out of this burning car. Thankfully, the fire cut itself out because the engine cut itself out. I was dazed and I hadn't switched the engine off. So because of the engine cutting itself and stalling, it stopped pumping fuel and the fire went out. So thankfully the whole car never got burned by this fire. The car, however, is a wreck. The side of it is absolutely mangled. It's going to need work, it needs spraying, probably a lot of mechanical problems to deal with. The car's nearly 30 years old, and I'm going to put a fundraiser page for that car because we need our vehicles, and I know we're doing a lot of fundraising for Christmas and stuff at the moment, but we really need the vehicles. Even on our Christmas wish list, actually, we had new vehicles on there. We said you can never ask for something too big from God. And it wasn't so we had a new car, it was purely about safety, economy, and the cost for maintenance on the older cars can get quite high sometimes. Economy and fuel wise it's quite high, but safety as well. A new car has technology, there's 30 years gap between that car and today's technology, so a newer car wouldn't have burst into flames, for example, if I'd rolled it, and this one did. So it was something on our wish list anyway, but I guess now we're adding to our wish list instead restoring one of the existing old vehicles that we very much do need here. So there's a fundraising link in the description of the video. If you want to check that out, it will be a great help. We need all our vehicles, and yeah, my error, but at the same time, you know, I see a dog or a child, I see very little difference. I know the emotional capacity of a dog is far greater than humans ever comprehend, even more than many children, even more than many adults, sorry. and thus I practice the same reactions in my body is to do something to assist or to avoid harm. And if I can have a crash and get hurt and be okay versus killing a child or a dog, I'm probably going to go for the crash every time. Even if someone said to me right now, that's your only two options, you know, I would probably go for risking the injury. Just that's how I value life, you know. And I also I'm a logical guy sometimes, and the chance of me surviving the crash is much higher than the chance of a dog or a child surviving, or a man or a woman surviving a four-wheel drive hitting them. So here they tell you don't try to avoid things on the road in case you cause more problems, but I just did it. It was just natural for me to react to the situation as I did, and now I need to fix what I did in reacting how I did. Yeah. So sadly the dog did not make it, and I will go and see if he's still there so I can bury him perhaps today, I was thinking. So yeah, so anyway, a huge articulated wagon then came, and I paid him $40 to pull my car out of this ditch, and it's now at the workshop in the local town. But they're just evaluating the damage, etc., and then they're going to give me a quotation. So I'll probably upload this once I get an idea of the costs, or I'll do it before, but there's a lot of work needs to happen to the side of this car to restore it back to a functioning car. It's not ideal, but you know, God is big and our needs are big. We have a great many children, etc. We have a great many staff, and we have need of many vehicles. I will leave it in the hands of God to see how He repairs that which has been taken from us, and I hope that the word is true in this instance, and that which the enemy takes away can be restored sevenfold. Although in this instance I'm not so sure the enemy was the one who took it away, because the source of the accident was my love for dogs, and I don't know if that can be used against you in it. My battery died. The source of the accident was my love for dogs, and I'm not so sure the enemy can use that against you, but who knows? Circumstance, timing, you just don't know. Maybe there was some monster of a human had kicked the dog, forcing it to run out onto the road, for all I know. I don't know, so there's a possibility here. Anyway, I think I'll take a day to rest and recover and bring myself down. I'll just sit around in my garden and thank God for another beautiful day. I never want to climb out of a burning car. Ever again. Ever again. Very hard to keep your composure in a situation like that. I have so much love for those who go in that way. Sometimes human invention creates circumstance that nature rarely does create. But also at the same time protects us from circumstances that nature would otherwise subject us to. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go process this. Still a little bit this morning, I think. But anyway, I love you all. I'm okay. God is good. As everybody said here, somebody's watching you, and I absolutely cannot help but agree with this. You might say, if someone was watching you, why did you crash? Why do I have the ability to climb from a burning car that's flipped onto its side, and less than 15 hours later I'm here? feeling extremely grateful. Not in so much pain or anything, no injuries, no cuts, no burns. I'd say God is watching. God bless, guys.